I just don't know if it's enough to catch people's eyes away from those basic castles. This might be another series where we see two castles. Bricklink Designer Program Series 7 voting is finally upon us, and after wading through 375 submissions, I have finally whittled it down to about 5 to 10 that I believe will make it as finalists, to which we'll be finding them out March 17th in just over 1 month. If you remember, for Series 6, I was able to personally announce the finalist on the Bricklink YouTube channel, and I'm hoping to do that again with Series 7 on March 17th. But we'll have to wait and find out. Looking at the breakdown is very, very intriguing. Always intriguing to see what are people making, what are designers submitting to each series. And you can see the breakdown here very clearly, unsurprisingly, weighted very heavily towards castle and building. Now, we do get a handful of pirates, history, space, and sci-fi, but needless to say, castle and building obviously takes the cake with being almost 50% of the total submission population. If you remember from my last video where I guessed the 5 finalists that I thought would make it on an objective basis, I was horribly wrong. I don't even think I got one correct. After my 4-hour stream, I've limited it down to about 8 submissions that I think have a shot to make it as finalists. Starting right off the bat, Firecracker's Ramen Shop. This set screams GWP. Being a very, very fun, cozy, cute ramen shop, it just gives you that sensation of a holistic design that is completely enclosed. I love the simplistic nature of it, yet it still feels complete and cohesive. It is also important to note that it is 522 pieces, meaning it will be about $50, give or take. So falling right in at that smaller price point, I think this one has a really, really strong shot being a very good contender. I discovered the juice bar honestly last second in the stream, and it really struck me as just a fun, bright, cheery design. Once again, is very cohesive, very complete, similar to the ramen shop. You get 3 minifigs with it. We all know who this guy is, that's a fact. It just seems like a fun design, as well as being 750 parts. So this one is gonna run about $60 to $70 would be my estimation. Here's a really fun set, Food Stand Diners by Heckmaker. And just look at it. How fun can this be? Once again, another GWP type design, very simplistic in its overall approach, but it really executes perfectly. And I think that's one of the most important aspects of the Bricklink Designer Program, is making sure the design feels complete, has a unique outlook, but still isn't overly dramatic in the piece count, because that's where these sets can run away and honestly have little to no shot of being selected as finalists. This one has 892 pieces, so it's going to be about $70 to $80 if it ends up getting selected. They can really make this one pop. It's got all the necessary parts, necessary pieces to this very unique design. I don't think we've seen anything like this before, in my opinion. Rounding it out with the final smaller set, the Brick House by Bix Bricks. The designer of the LEGO Ideas Winnie the Pooh set is the same designer that created this very fun, unique, cozy brick house, which personally, I desperately love self-aware LEGO sets, self-aware LEGO designs, so this one screams as a must to me. But I feel like its overall design, once again, this might surprise you how many pieces this set actually has. 846 pieces. So this build feels like a really, really good size as well when you look at it in comparison to the minifig scale. I mean, it's gonna be a good size set for around $80, maybe $70. Now, as we range up into that sort of middle area, that middle range sets, this Cargo Crate Plaza, this just evokes some sort of natural, rural vibe that I just really, really adore. Maybe it's because I really loved the game Watch Dogs when it came out back in 2013, 2014, but I just love the overall impression. I just feel like it's a little too niche. Of course, this is created by Modular Maniac. The designer really nailed the way these cargo containers look. However, when I first looked at this, I sort of expected it to be one of those cargo container homes that you sometimes see, but it ended up being some sort of nature reserve / restaurant place, which was an interesting take on it. I just kind of more so expected it to be a home as opposed to a cafe that you can see here. But this one, ranging in at 2,200 pieces, is going to hit us at no less than $190 $90. I would expect it to be around $200. And you think I wouldn't be able to make a Bricklink Designer Program video without looking at Something Castle. Needless to say, Something by Sleepless Night. And he's got the Alchemist Workshop here, which actually does fall under Castle as opposed to potentially Fantasy. I mean, do I even have to really say much about this set? I feel like I should just let the pictures speak for themselves. My personal favorite angle is this angle right here. It really captures the best side of this set, honestly, but unfortunately, if I have to be very critical, I would say that the interior design of this set is a little overly simplistic, in my opinion. Now, all that to say, the piece count gets us right at $2,500, so this set would run us at around $230, $220 at the minimum. Could this be selected? Obviously, Sleepless Night has many designs that have been selected so far in the BDP, so he really has a very strong following, and I'm very intrigued to see if that following and of course this amazing design is going to take him to the finalists once more. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure you drop a like down below, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you don't miss out on any Bricklink Designer Program future series updates. Are the deep lore train fans finally going to get the train set that I'm sure they have been begging for with the Cherry Liner Express train? Now, this set could fit the middle area of the finalists because, of course, we need sets with parts on the smaller side. We need sets with parts on the larger side to get to that average of 2,500 parts. But that being said, I found this a very, very beautiful design coming in at just under 2,800 pieces. So this would be, I mean, I could see this being $250, a $250 set. Cherry Liner Express looks gorgeous, and once again, I'm not a huge train person. I feel like this one has a really, really good shot of becoming a finalist, being in that middle-ish range of sets around $250. I hope for you train people, if you like this one, you have to let me know in the comments because, like I said, I'm not a huge train fan. I don't know what makes train fans tick, so just let me know if you think this one is going to make it to the finalist. Now, one of our bigger buildings that I would think has a very solid shot of becoming a finalist is Haunted Hotel Brickwood Manor, of course created by Brick Project, who did become one of the finalists in the most recent series with the Gold Mine, a beautiful, beautiful design. Of course, his skill level has reached the heights with his Brickwood Manor. Wow, this set is absolutely polished. It's got just about everything you could possibly ask for. 3 levels, a separate pavilion restroom that you can also kind of make into a side crypt, bunch of minifigures. We've got some tombstones out back. It's spooky, it's haunted, it's maybe about everything you could hope for in a sort of spooky, haunted manor, haunted mansion. Like, this thing is just absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if I can praise this one enough. He really does build on the same concept as the Gold Mine Expedition and really takes that into a new time period with sort of a current, maybe like mid-1900s, late 1800s building, and it is hitting all the marks. Such a beautiful design. Of course, we do get a really good look at all the minifigures he has presented with his design. That being said, I think this one has a really strong shot. It does come in at 3,400 pieces or thereabouts with 19 stickers, so this would run us at about 320 or so, 310. If we don't see this in the finalist, I would hope that we see this in another series because just look at it. This is an absolutely beautiful building. Finally getting to a castle in this series. There were so many castle designs that were on the very, very large end, and this one was most unique enough that caught my eye. Dustmark Keep by Brick Hucker. I mean, just look at it. It's unique. That's what I'm most intrigued about. The footprint, the overall silhouette of this design here really caught my eye. I love that it's not the typical totally gray. We've got a little bit of uniqueness, a little bit of variety with this set. Of course, being a purple faction, that is kind of a new faction that he has made up with the tax collectors. I believe it's made up. You'll have to correct me if it's not. I love the overall hinged nature of this set, how you can open and close it like we've seen before, but most importantly, we don't have the gray and the rocks. We have some variety with the sandy bottom of the castle here at the foundation. We've got gray throughout it. We've got the dark brown throughout it. We've got tan throughout it. Most importantly, we've got those purple accents throughout this set with the black tiling on top, the roof shingles, and it does enough for me. I really hope this catches people's eyes. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't present you with any other unique castle designs that we saw in this series. Brickwood Castle really caught my eye. It was such a close tie between Brickwood Castle and Dustmark Keep, but I feel like Dustmark was just unique enough, just different enough from what we've seen before. However, I do love the light tan and medium nougat design color choice that we see in this set, which I think gives it a chance. Spiral staircase, very, very unique. A lot of variety with this set, enough to intrigue a lot of fans with this set. The final one I do want to look at is the Scarlet Bastion, because we've never seen a set this color before, but these red bricks are absolutely gorgeous. Really stands out with that fall design, those birch trees growing off of the castle walls. This one is very unique in its color palette choice. I just don't know if it's enough to catch people's eyes away from those basic castles. Brickhammer designed Lion's Keep for us. He did win the last series with the Wolf's Den, so it would be interesting to see if people want sort of that companion set for the Wolf Den that we saw in the last series. We have got so many very strong options, very strong contenders for Series 7 of the Bricklink Designer Program. Are we going to get to a point where we find 2 castles on the finalist? There's just too many good ones to pass up. I know I've spoken poorly about castles in the past. I think it's going to be a battle of buildings versus castles, as it typically always is, but you'll have to let me know in the comments below, which sets did you vote on? Which sets that you saw me present to you today do you think have the best shot to be finalists? I am very interested to know what you all think. What is going to make it as a finalist in Bricklink Designer Program Series 7?